Okay, state of play of the Corsa as we prepare for 2023, which is a big year, being the 30th anniversary of the Corsa B, launched in the UK in March, April 1993, and obviously this is a 93 model. So it did get through an MOT in December with nothing of note, but there are a few things now that I'm going to have to do. First of all, I've owned it now for a year. I serviced it straight away on owning it, so it needs an oil change. There is also a leaky, slightly weeping sump, ever so slightly. Yeah, you can see there, so it's just a sump gasket, I believe. It only weeps ever so slightly, but that'll be worth doing. I think also what I want to do is the gearbox oil. There's nothing wrong fundamentally with the gearbox oil, but seeing as this car might go for a few years more than I was expecting, and you have to take off the gearbox pan at the bottom, there's a fill hole at the top, somewhere around here. It's a bit dark in here in the garage, but yeah, I want the gearbox oil doing. I may do that one myself. The sump again I may do myself, but I think you have to undo the exhaust as well to drop the sump. So just a service, I think. Plugs are already done. They've only done 2,000 miles and they look really, really good. Coolant was changed when the radiator was changed last year, so the coolant will be good probably for the life of the car now under my ownership. Other things that need attention, you can see the wiper arm here. It's just basically buggered at this joint. I've got replacements for those. There was actually one being scrapped down the road from me, which is also in satin red as well. Not so critical really. There's a lot of surface rust here, and also it looks a bit lousy. There's so many chip marks, and you can see it here, these little splodges. It doesn't look very tidy, so I'm actually tempted to buy the bonnet off the one where I got the wiper arms and a few other extras, and it also had a lining on that one, which might help with soundproofing, but obviously I don't know how good the colour match is. I did park up next to it, but it was so cold and I didn't really have a good look. Anyway, so yep, service, oil, all that stuff. Here the door, again, you can see it's just badly, I mean it's covered up here, but it's not great, and this is actually where someone tried to steal the car, not under my ownership, but there's where is it? I don't know if you can see it. Oh yeah, you can see someone basically tried to crowbar it open, so there is a dent in, yeah, here it is. There is a dent in this door, so it looks a bit crap. Yeah, I may try and rattle can this, sort of sand it back a bit and rattle can it, just to make it look better, or maybe I might find a replacement door, I don't know. Right, the thing that I did discover post MOT was there was a tiny hole down here in the sill inner arch, and then I poked it with a screwdriver and then it was a slightly bigger hole. I got someone down the road to do this. I was going to buy a welder and try and have a go myself, but to be honest, for the cost of learning to weld, and basically I wanted this sealed up as quickly as possible, I got someone to do it. So yeah, they've welded in replacement plate here, new bung, and inside was brilliant. Inside the cavity, spotless, absolutely spotless. It was just literally all the shit had just pooled up here. So that's all been taken care of now, and I'll fit the trim back. But obviously in taking the trim off, been able to have a damn good look at the arch here, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with this. Absolutely nothing wrong with this. We just tidied up this bit because there's a little bit of surface rust here, so that's all nice and solid. I'll just put a touch-up pen here just to clean this bit up, and then I'll put the trim back on, but I'm not going to do a pro finish. This is just this isn't a show pony in the sense that I'll do my best to make it look good, but it's never going to be a show pony. Yep, some stickers there. Obviously I went to the Motorist in Yorkshire last year. Furious Driving, Matt drove this last year, and I went to Jilk's Cafe where Matt did a social. So I've just started to make that look really messy and cluttered with stickers. The spoiler I started to slightly polish up because you can see it's a bit hazy. That's looking a bit better. Whether it needs a respray or just keep buffing it, I don't know, but I'll keep having an attack at it. The rear wiper's good, the rear wiper arm's good. This is a phase 2 boot surround. I need a phase 1, which is like a badge rather than this sticking out badge from the phase 2. I have a phase 1 boot surround coming, but it doesn't have the badge, so I'm going to have to work something out. Crack here. Yeah, I forgot about that. I need to take care of this. At the moment, it's wearing its replacement plates, not the original plates. I'll put those on during shows. Bumper's great, very happy there. This hubcap's the worst one. I know it's dirty at the moment, but I've got a replacement there to come in. Inside, things that need attention. Oh, this door's locked. What needs attention inside? There are a few things. I will finally, I think, replace this for a phase 1 gear knob. At the moment it's got the CD player in. It should be a tape deck. The tape deck doesn't play, the cassette's buggered, so I'm going to buy a new tape deck. Floppy vents I'll take care of. This one works, this one doesn't. This one's floppy as well. I've got replacements for that. The multifunction display doesn't keep time. I've got a replacement for that. Tidy up things like these marks. I don't know what to do with this. This is where the old immobiliser LED was. There is no immobiliser now because that was just bad news. The glue here, I'm going to start, I think I'm going to take one of these door cards off. We'll try and buy a replacement door card and have a practice at gluing. I think you just spray glue onto the board backing here, but you can see there's a shape here that should come through, you know, like a groove here. I don't know how you get that finished, so I may see or get some advice on how to do that. Can you see there's like a defined shape here, so when you're spraying somehow you want to make that all work, and that could look really, really nice. It's not horrendous at the moment and there's no tears or anything, but it would be nice to get that shape back. And indeed the same at the back, where there should be an armrest, and indeed like grooves at the top. It could look really nice. The headlining is solid, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So that's all good. Very minor, you can see some dents and marks in this faceplate here. I've got a replacement one for that, really, really good condition replacement one. And then, as I say, this gear knob. So yeah, a little bit of work on the inside. We're now on nearly 71,000 miles. I took it over at 68, so I've done a fair bit of driving in it. This panel, I can't seem to get this dirt out. I'll have another go again. Try to steam clean that out, maybe degreaser or something. Again, yeah, needs gluing back here. But you know, the interior is actually in good condition. And the guy that, oh yeah, and this is loose here. I want to, you know, you can see that the metal is absolutely fine there. I just need to, this clip's broken. There's actually a trim panel near where there's actually a load of satin red parts in Northwich on the go at the moment. And my dad lives near there, so I might well get him to pick up. And it comes with like a new wing, which might be an idea, just as a spare, with this trim. So I might get him to do that. Anyway, spares. Yeah, here's this came actually out of a Tigra. Someone had broken a Tigra A, which is super rare, but you can see here, this is all good, this is lovely and firm. The only problem is this bit's buggered, but I can switch, I've watched a video, I can switch just the internal switches, and I can remove this faceplate. So yeah, I'm going to sort of cannibalise this bit. Looks like I had an immobiliser or something on that one. There's the tape deck. Oh, the other things that need sorting. That's a spare indicator switch. Yeah, the indicator doesn't cancel, so I've got another one. So that's all groovy. Yeah, so it's looking pretty promising actually. What was super impressive. Look, I got this is the hubcap to replace the worst condition one at the back. Look at this real GM Vauxhall part. made in the UK. Blimey, I hadn't noticed that. Made in the UK. Here it is, look, unused hubcap, which will go on that back wheel for the worst looking hubcap, and they'll all look absolutely mint. The only shame is that this is from the Swing, the Corsa Swing, or the Corsa Flare, or an Astra F, these hubcaps, not the LS. This is an LS, but, you know, it'll adorn these. These look really smart, it's just not if you're a purist. The correct ones. I've got some spare headlights. Yes, I need to put them in a box. Yeah, it's looking good for this year, really, in terms of, you know, trying to tidy this up a bit more. But I've already got a strong base. The chap that welded the arch to me had a good look around for me as well and said, you know, it's looking solid. The sills are all good. And if I needed any more further help, he could do it. I would love to learn to weld myself, but, you know, we've all got lives, and so on. So I haven't got time. So shortcut on some things. Yeah, I love phase ones before the V-grill. They're so much rarer, but yeah, you can see all the little pen marks here. You know, I'm just actually tempted just to get that bonnet from down the road, which had the insulation. So there we go, that's the state of the Corsa. It's coming up to February. I booked, I think the first show that I'm intending to go to is in April, so yeah. And yes, I'll continue to drive it when there's no ice on the road, just to keep it alive. So there we go, thanks for watching.